Hey, everybody, it's Jets Chaos. And today, my friend Tony and I are going to talk about championship rosters, the best teams in football. What do they have in common? Is there a pattern? Is there something the Jets can learn from all this? We're going to be back right after this, and we're going to find out. Okay, everybody, let me introduce my partner in crime on my cell phone, on the speaker, Tony the Man. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
Oh man, I'm in Mobile, Alabama. Tomorrow we're gonna watch the first practice for the Senior Bowl. We went and got our credentials. I am officially the press and in the part of the media team covering the Reese's Senior Bowl.
That's great, Jeremy. It's your first step on the way to being an assistant GM with the Jets one day.
I'll tell you, we're gonna win Super Bowls with this team.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, we said we were going to go over the rosters, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we start?
You claim to have identified patterns and similarities between these winning teams and that the Jets need to learn from, right?
Exactly.
Okay, everybody wants to know what those patterns are.
First, let's bring up the Jets salary cap for 24.
Okay. Okay, here we are. Here are the New York Jets 2024 salary cap.
Okay, who's the first place person on the top?
CJ Mosley.
When did we draft him?
We didn't draft CJ Mosley. We signed him as a big-time free agent.
Okay, who's next?
Quinnen Williams.
Okay, we drafted him, right?
Damn straight we drafted him.
Keep on going. Who's the next one?
Well, Lincoln Tomlinson, we didn't draft him. Aaron Rodgers, we didn't draft him. John Franklin Myers, we didn't draft him. We picked him up. DJ Reed, we didn't draft him. Alan Lazard, we didn't draft him. CJ Azoma, we didn't draft him. Zach Wilson, we drafted him.
And we don't want him.
We don't want him. Tyler Conklin, I mean, all these guys except one are guys we've picked up as free agents.
Right. Now, if you go to the majority of teams in the NFL, forget about the playoff team. Their salary cap doesn't look like that. They are paying their own players. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the better teams that are in the playoffs right now, they have three, the Ravens had 3 guys they're paying. The Chiefs have 4. The Lions have 3. The 49ers have 6. Jets have 1.
One guy.
So that salary cap is being used the wrong way. You need to retain your players with your salary cap. You need to add that 1 star.
Right.
Like we could re-sign Reed again because he's helping us out. He was a young player from another team. You cannot build with the salary cap, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
It never worked. Has it worked for the Jets over all these years?
It definitely has not worked for the Jets over these years.
Correct. But we continuously want to do the same exact thing. Right. Now, this is proof because if you look at other teams, it's consistently the same thing. They're doing it the right way. The teams that are in the playoffs are doing it the right way. And, I don't want to hurt Jets fans' feelings because I'm a diehard Jets fan here. The New England Patriots have a perfectly clean salary cap right now and they're ready to start building. Do you realize that?
I know they ruined it for a couple of years with those tight ends and they tried that approach and it didn't work, but now they're ready to go, man. They got no salary commitments.
Exactly. And we want to continue to destroy our cap by bringing in a high-priced free agent to help, to try to have a 1 or 2 year window to win. Doesn't happen. You're missing what? Chemistry, continuity. You can't just flop people together and expect a team. Didn't the Eagles try that a few years back? You know, they brought in a whole bunch of free agents and they played horrible, didn't they?
Yep.
Right. That's what the Jets are looking for. Now let's pull up the 4 rosters. Start with the Ravens.
Okay.
On our edge, excuse.
Okay, here's the Ravens depth chart. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now they have 13 drafted starters.
Yep.
How many of them were there as long as Quentin Williams or longer?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Longer than 2019?
Yeah, so far I counted 5 guys.
Okay.
And that's just starters.
Right.
There's more than that on their team.
Okay. But 5, right?
5. Yep.
Right. The Jets are bringing out Quentin Williams. That's it.
Just 1. Yep.
Right. You see the major difference?
Oh yeah.
Now, you're talking about leadership. What type of leadership do the Ravens have?
They have a pretty awesome general manager. Been there for years. John Harbaugh has been the coach for years. He's one of the longest standing coaches right now, longest tenured coaches.
The players have been there for 5 of them have been there for a while, right?
Yeah.
That's leadership.
Yep.
Okay. They also have basically a 70% player retention rate over 3 years prior to 23.
Hmm.
So the whole team has chemistry, correct?
Yeah.
They paid their own quarterback. They paid Jackson. Jackson's been playing with these guys now for multiple years. What type of chemistry does he have with his players, his offense? Quite a bit.
Obviously better than any quarterback we have that as far as with our guys.
Rodgers is coming out next year. He missed a year, right? He's playing with players he's never played with before.
Correct.
You know, just Lazard, they might get him another guy, and maybe his left tackle might come over. Whatever they try to do. That's not how you build chemistry. It takes 2 years at least. We talked about offensive lines, right?
Yeah.
Either you have a mobile quarterback like Jackson, Mahomes, right? Or you need 5 drafted starters. We showed it, didn't we?
Yep.
Right. The Jets don't even know who their offensive line is going into next year.
Right.
Do you think it's going to work, Jeremy?
It's a long shot.
Right, exactly. But we always played a long shot in New York. We don't have to do that. We could build it with the draft, and we could continue building it. We haven't signed our second guy yet or our third guy, so we have plenty of time. Right? I mean, we had Gardner, we had another player to this guy, to Quentin Williams, and then we're looking okay.
Yep.
That's the way we build it. Bring up the next team, the Chiefs. Because they all look like this, Jeremy, except us.
Okay. Do you see that on your screen?
Yes.
Great.
Okay. They have 16 drafted starters. Now, we won't talk about returning starters, okay? I mean, because they all have a bunch of returning starters, okay? The Jets are lucky if they have 10 or 11 each year. They're constantly doing, adding who knows how many starters every year. Look at how many guys that they have since Quentin Williams and before, 2019 and before.
1, 2, 3. 3 starters that I see. Oh no, 1. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Is there a 4th? I think it's 3.
Okay. One of them's Mahomes.
Yeah.
One of them's Kelsey.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the Jets rolling out? I mean, seriously. Now think of it. now you're talking in a year or two. You're talking 2 years down the road, and the Jets are rolling out Garrett Wilson, Gardner, Quinn Williams. They got 2 more great draft class. They get 4 more starters that way. They had 1 nice player. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances of that team winning the Super Bowl if they draft another quarterback?
Well, they would,
right?
They would have a much better chance than this roster.
A much better chance. Now, go to the next one, the Lions. Now, this one really hurts as a Jets fan because when the Jets should look at the Lions and see ourselves. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
The Jets should be the Lions right now if they did it right.
Okay. Wow, look at that.
The Lions have 17 drafted starters.
Wow. Yep, a ton of them.
How many do they have over? As long as Quinn Williams.
1, 2. I think they have 2.
2 or 3. It was 4 nights ago.
Yeah, maybe somebody's hurt or something, but they have their left tackle has been there since 2016, and their center has been there since 2018. So you have, 2 of your offensive linemen, the left tackle and the center, that have been there and been together. I mean, they've both been there for one for like 7 years and one for 5.
Right. They also have 5 drafted starters, right?
Right, because you have Sewell, who they drafted. And that's I remember people, that was somebody who the Jets were looking at, or some of the fans thought the Jets should go after if we didn't take a quarterback.
Right. Now, this is a young team with a ton of salary cap space, 17 drafted starters.
Yeah.
The Jets have 9 drafted starters, and they only have Quinn Williams.
Right.
The chemistry on the team. Who has more chemistry and continuity?
Well, right now they do by far.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
What about loyalty? In order to leave your team and go sign with another team, you do realize it takes a while to break, whatever loyalty. A football player, that's your team when you get drafted.
Yeah.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that easy to change teams and automatically, bring that same that same heart, to show the heart that you did when you first got drafted. It doesn't work that way. You need to build camaraderie and chemistry.
Yep.
That's why these teams are in the playoffs and the Jets are locking in. Jets fans, all they want to do is replace players all day. It's like one big fantasy football team they're trying to run. It's like they're watching Madden when they want to build a roster. That's not how you do it. You build it with the draft. I mean, this is history. It's all over the place. Now, this is the big one. Go to the 49ers.
Okay, here we go. Wow, look at all these drafted players. Look at that.
Now, before we even start, right? Who's the left tackle?
Trent Williams.
You ever hear of him before?
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. They went out and made a splash by bringing in a Hall of Fame left tackle. What are the Jets doing? They're slopping together an offensive line. Okay? That's not how it works. Now, if the Jets, we'll go over the offensive line in a few minutes because I got, a couple of points on that. The 49ers are building it the right way. We didn't go over the chief coaching staff. They've been together for how long? A while, right?
Oh, yeah.
How are the 49ers doing?
Yeah, they've been. Kyle Shanahan's been there for a while now. It's been 5 or 6 years.
Now, the continuity, the coach and the GM, everybody together for all this time, what are they building? This is what you build.
Yeah.
Why don't the Jets have that? Because they constantly change everything. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what are these guys doing? Let's seriously, right now, we got these good younger core. We have 5, 6, 7 really good players. What do they want to do? You want to keep, change. Oh, let's bring in a new coach, a new GM. Okay. Don't let Douglas draft the quarterback. Let's wait for the next guy to draft the quarterback. Where do you think Garrett Wilson's going to go when he becomes a free agent? You think he's going to want to play with a rookie quarterback again after he hasn't been in the playoffs for 4 years?
No.
No, he's out the door. That's what's wrong with the Jets. Okay? It's never going to change until they stop with this free agent crap. What do you think?
I think it's crazy when people are saying we need to people want to trade draft capital for guys that are 31, 32 years old. So you're not going to get that continuity that way. They're not going to be in their prime of their career. They're not going to develop that camaraderie. They're not going to develop that chemistry. You're not going to get that out of your team. You're just getting mercenaries.
Now, here's the thing. The Ravens could trade to go get a player right now. Correct?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to. I think
something.
what the Rams did was good. They had a team that had that chemistry. They had lots of guys that they built from the draft, and then they added on some key players at the end just to kind of, straw that stirs the drink kind of thing.
Right. Where do you think the Lions are going in the next 5, 6 years?
I think they're going to be a constant contender. They're going to contend every year.
Exactly. What are the Jets building? It's the same. We're already looking at tearing it down. We're saying we're going to compete for 2 years by loading it up with free agents. And they're already thinking of tearing it down. And what are they going to do when they tear it down, Jeremy? Do you want to know? They're going to trade Quinnen Williams. They're going to trade Sauce Gardner. Okay? They're going to bring in draft picks. We're going to start with 92 first-round picks. Okay? And it's going to be the same thing. We're going to wait until they get the first guy on a second contract. We're going to wait until they get experience. And by then, if you don't hit on the coach again and the quarterback, we're another 10 years down the road, Jeremy. Right or wrong?
That's been the pattern.
Exactly. Now let's finish the 49ers. Who do you see?
They certainly have as many. They have a lot more guys that have been there for a long time, right? So we see that George Kittle's been there forever. Nick Bosa's been there for a while. Armstead's been there forever. Look how many guys. Fred Warner's been there for so many guys that have been there from 2018 or earlier.
Right.
So many guys that are playing and contributing that were drafted by the team. Player after player.
Exactly. Now, why are they playing for the Super Bowl? I mean, honestly, what are we looking at?
You're just looking at a solid roster of a team that was built through
the draft.
What
are we looking at with the Lions roster?
You're looking at a younger version of this roster.
Exactly. What are we looking at? Now, this is where it gets, really the Ravens have a really nice roster. They're athletic, they got good coaching and so forth. There's a reason they're not in the Super Bowl. It's not the same roster, right? I mean, the Chiefs are doing it more with, they got the best quarterback. Might be going into the conversation of one of the top 2 or 3 of all time already. And he's what, 28?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, he's carrying, the receiver. He has his receiver, his second guy, his number 1 receiver is okay now, but he's carrying that team. He doesn't have the playmakers either. He has his big time tight end.
Right.
Right. If you look at all it is, and it's really realistically, and you're looking at the Jets, bring up the Jets roster.
There we go.
Okay. How many guys are going to be back next year on this? Forget about, how many new starters are you looking for here?
Well, I mean, you're not going to start Jason Brownlee and Xavier Gibson, who are playing because of injuries. Nobody wants to start Alan Lazard again. So you're talking about the only wide receiver that's going to be starting that's the same is Garrett Wilson.
Right.
Right. And possibly Lazard will get his job back as the number 3, but not very strong. And then Becton's not going to probably not come back.
You don't want Tomlinson.
Right. And then McGovern's not going to be there. That's going to be Tippmann at center, most likely, unless we draft a guard, but it'll be a new person in one of those two positions. Because if Tippmann's playing center, there'll be a new right guard.
Right.
Or Tucker will be playing right guard, and there'll be a new right tackle. So you're looking at a new right tackle and a new left tackle.
Okay, keep on going. You still need a guard because you should get rid of Tomlinson.
Yeah, well, and that's a whole nother problem, right? So we're paying $20 million something for Laken Tomlinson. The only two real guys that pop out on this entire offense, or 3 guys, is just, obviously you got Aaron that's going to hopefully be healthy this year, but it's just Brees Hall, Joe Tippmann, and Garrett Wilson, and then you have AVT, but he's missed he's missed the last 2 years.
Conklin, right?
And you have Conklin.
Okay, that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
You might squeeze out. We're gonna throw, I don't know, darts here. Maybe Warren. You don't know. That's 5, maybe 6. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that crazy?
It's not ideal.
It's a big deal, right?
Well, it's not an ideal way to win. Let's face it. It's every year we're having turnover every year in a lot of spots. And the part of the team that's the strongest, coincidentally, the defense is the part of the team that's not having as much turnover.
But they're going to have turnover, though. Okay, let's go over the defensive turnover first. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know you're getting rid of Whitehead, right?
I would imagine.
Right. They don't have Adams is under contract, I believe.
I believe so. Yeah, Tony Adams we still have control of.
Okay. You need a defensive tackle, correct?
Those guys were 1-year contracts, so, and they were hurt. So do we bring back Quentin Jefferson? Do we bring back Al Woods? Are they coming back? Are they retiring? Nobody knows, but they're certainly not under contract.
Okay. Now the defense isn't bad at all. You only got to replace 2, maybe 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
If anything, you might get an upgrade at those positions anyway.
Right. Well, certainly the safety position.
Okay. Now, why have the Jets won 7 games? 2 years in a row? The defense is winning them the games.
Right.
Right. Now, do you really think an offense adding 6 guys is going to build chemistry enough to win a Super Bowl in 1 year?
That'd be really hard.
Look at what we looked at the other teams.
Right.
Now, we said something about the Lions having 5 drafted starters on the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
The key when you're talking about chemistry and so forth is returning starters. Now, look at our offensive line. How many players, Tippmann plays center, right?
Yeah.
They might want to move him to guard, but we'll just say Tippmann's coming back as a center. We don't want Tomlinson, so we're not going to count him. We have 1 guy that played this year for more than 9 games, considered a starter, Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
Every other team has 4 or 5 guys that played last year returning.
Mhm.
The Jets need to add 4 offensive linemen. Obviously, ABT's on the team, but he hasn't played. Okay, so if you put him at right guard, then you're automatically okay because we already know what he is. He's a good player as long as he stays healthy. He's a really good player if he stays healthy.
Mhm.
I saw a stat somewhere today that they were like the best Russian attack when he played, and they dropped down quite a bit when he didn't.
Mm.
Did you see that?
Yeah, like when they're a different offensive line when he's in the game.
Right.
Mm.
This doesn't work, John. You cannot go out and get draft 2 offensive linemen, get an offensive lineman in free agency, put it on this line, and expect them to compete for a Super Bowl. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Be realistic.
Right.
What do you think?
It's not what you're seeing in any other team that's winning.
Now, we talked about returning starters. How many offensive linemen played this past weekend? 4 times 5 is 20, right?
Yeah.
How many of them were returning starters? What do you think? Take a guess. The number's 1 to 20, okay?
17.
You were close. 18.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Okay? That's the key to winning football, okay? You protect your quarterback, and you win. It's that simple.
Hmm.
Okay? You get a quarterback that could handle pressure, and you win. Mahomes could do that, right?
Yep.
Are they winning?
Oh yeah.
Right. That's the key to football. Now you're looking at quarterbacks, right? We're going to do things on all the quarterbacks coming out. What are you looking at when you're looking at, we're going to bring up Zach Wilson for a second. He can't handle pressure. Okay? You look at these guys. Purdy, he lost his left tackle. He had a little bit of issue with pressure there.
Yeah.
Okay. The good quarterbacks, they eat pressure. They love pressure. They look at it and say, you know what? Here's my time to get a touchdown. Let me burn this. That's not what the Jets are. So now we're looking, okay, we're bringing in that quarterback. But you don't have what he needs to actually win. Right? It's the history of the game, Carmen. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah, no, everything you're saying it's not something you could really dispute. It's like this is all factual information.
Now let's go to the remaining factual. We'll do it real quick.
Okay.
The Packers had 20-6. 20 drafted and 6 returning. The Bucks had 18-7. The Bills 13-4. Where did they all go? The playoffs.
Yeah.
You're seeing it, right?
Yep.
Pull up the Packers. That's the other dream team. If you want to be a fan of a team.
Look at that. It's all drafted players. The whole team. The entire offense is drafted. There's not one player on their entire starting offense that wasn't drafted by them.
All right. How do they look going forward?
Unreal.
Now, right. Now, what do you think if this team wanted to get rid of some of their future draft capital now, move up in the draft and draft Harrison to go with this team? Or draft the Bowers to go with this team?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you build a football team. I hate to tell you, they gave it to the Jets real good. Right?
Well, if we don't win with Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, they definitely got the better end of it.
Right. But that's the way you build it. And that's what the Jets need. Now, I'm not going to say the big words. If I'm the GM, I'm drafting a quarterback this year. I'm having him sit 1 year behind Rodgers. And I'm cutting Rodgers June 1st. And I'm eating it. Or I'm trading him someplace else to try to recoup some. That sounds crazy, but it opens up the salary cap. And you could retain your guy. And you could continue with the rebuild to get where you're supposed to be. That's a little bit too much for you to handle.
We'll have to look at it and what the implications are of it, like the implications of cutting him or post June first. How much money of dead cap that would make over the next 4 years.
Well, would you rather do that and continue building with the draft and sign all these free agents to make that dead cap look really, really horrible? Because you do realize everybody they sign is going towards the future salary cap, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I think that covers everything, right?
That's it.
You want to look at the last team? You want to look at New England, their salary cap situation?
Sure. I think a lot of people don't think they're in good shape. So if you think that people are underestimating the shape they're in, we should talk about it.
Go into 25.
Oh, you want to go into the salary cap?
Right.
Okay. So let's go to over the cap. Well, I thought Arizona was in bad shape because Kyle Murray, but he actually played better this season than, so he has made a little bit of a comeback.
Murray is the only issue with that team. As in building a team for the future.
So you want to go to 2025 New England and look at their cap?
Right.
Okay, here we are.
How much money do they have?
As of right now, their cap space is $190 million for 2025.
How much do they have available?
$190 million.
Right. Who are they paying at the top there?
Well, Matt Judon has a zero base salary. I'm sure that's because it's a prorated bonus. But J.C. Jackson, $12 million. They don't have any big high price guys.
Right. They got it out their cap, John.
Yeah.
Okay. All of those guys are going to be on a team, basically. There's not much dead wood.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This guy has been cleaning it up, and then he leaves? I mean, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Now, what do they do? The Jets could have traded down from 2, right? And loaded up the roster.
Yep.
Where's New England right now?
They're picking third.
Right. What do you think they trade down and load up the roster?
It'd be interesting if they did that, because are they going to take the quarterback or are they going to trade down? Because if they trade down, that's what the Jets did not do when we had the opportunity to do that.
Right. But I think Sam Darnold was better than
Mac
that
Jones.
guy.
Yeah. They're in a different situation because Mac Jones is definitely not the guy.
Or, not that guy. He might be a bottom level guy.
Right.
But not that guy. But you see the similarities. The Jets had nobody, right? Back then in 2020.
Right.
Right. You want to do Arizona real quick and then we'll wrap it?
Okay. We could look at Arizona. Here's 2025 Arizona.
Who are they paying up there?
Kyle Murray.
That's their guy.
Right. Actually, in 2025, it's not. Yeah. It's a $33 million cap hit. So, I mean, it's not like it's. It's $45 million.
Who's after him?
DJ Humphries.
That's that guy, right?
$15 million. Yeah.
And I think he has another one that they're paying up there. That's their guy.
Jalen Thomas.
No, I don't know about him. I think the one after that.
Well, Paris Johnson is their guy. It's only $1 million, but he's the guy they drafted, the offensive lineman, last year.
Oh, you're only showing 3. I looked at 24. Okay, so they have at least 2 of them are their drafted players that they extended. Now, here's the thing. If they trade Murray and they draft another quarterback and they continue to build with the draft, do you have any idea how much money they're going to have? It'll be a lot.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you build. This is the same situation the Jets were in? No. New England's the same situation.
Yeah.
Basically. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, for the most part, they have like 3 guys that make money for, Murray, a couple other players, and then it's just all young guys that make $1 million or 1.5
right.
million.
But if you look at the Jets, they got 9 guys that are making what? And they're all, the 9 highest paid guys on the Jets are all not non-Jets.
Yeah.
They were free agents other than Quinn Williams.
Yeah.
Right. You don't build it that way, Jeremy.
No.
Does this prove it, or?
It's certainly very evident that there's a pattern. It's
a big pattern.
So it's not a good situation. If we don't come out, if it doesn't work, they're rolling dice. If it doesn't work, it's going to be a fiasco. It's going to be a really bad situation for us. If it doesn't work, if the team can't win in the next 2 years, it's going to get really ugly.
Especially if they keep on messing up the salary cap.
Yeah,
I don't want to get ugly and lose Gardner and JJ and Garrett Wilson. Right? I mean, if it's going to get ugly, we could always say, at least we got Quinnen and those 3.
Right.
Okay. I mean, we could build on that. I could live with that a little bit. But if they continue to do what they're looking at, I'm not too keen on that. They got it, because it looks like JD set it up that there's an out somehow, in 26, they should have cap room if they don't do anything stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, that's it, Jeremy.
All right, man. It was good talking to you. And Jeff fans, we'll be back. We're going to start looking at quarterbacks. We're going to do a lot of stuff. But if you have any comments about this, if you agree with Tony, then put it in the comment that you agree with him. If you don't agree with him, be careful, tread carefully, but you could put it in the comments as well. If you like the video, like the video. Thanks for watching.